Antarctica is the coldest, emptiest place on Earth, a continent without cities, without permanent residents, and without mercy. Beneath the endless ice lie stories most people have never heard of. Mysterious disappearances, classified experiments, strange sounds, forbidden zones. Some of them are documented, some are theories, and some are so disturbing they are rarely discussed at all. This is the Antarctica Horror Iceberg. The deeper we go, the darker it gets. Level 1. Ningen. The Ningen is a modern maritime legend that originated in Japan in the early 2000s. The word Ningen simply means human in Japanese, but in this context, it refers to a mysterious humanoid sea creature allegedly seen in the waters of the Southern Ocean near Antarctica. According to the reports, Ningen is described as a massive white creature, often estimated to be between 20 and 30 meters long. Witnesses claim it has a vaguely human-like shape, with arms, hands, or even a face resembling human features such as eyes and a mouth. Other descriptions are more abstract, portraying it as a smooth, pale organism with limb-like protrusions emerging from the water. Most sightings come from anonymous accounts posted on Japanese internet forums, particularly 2channel. The stories are usually attributed to crew members of Japanese whaling ships or research vessels operating in Antarctic waters. These witnesses often describe seeing the creature at night or in poor visibility, sometimes mistaking it at first for icebergs, submarines, or whales. There is no physical evidence confirming the existence of Ningen. Scientists and skeptics suggest that the sightings can be explained by known marine animals, such as whales, giant squid, or large seals distorted by waves, darkness, and extreme weather conditions. Ice formations and optical illusions caused by the Antarctic environment may also play a role. Today, Ningen is considered an example of modern cryptozoology and internet folklore. While it remains unproven, the legend reflects how isolation, harsh conditions, and limited visibility in Antarctic waters can give rise to persistent and unsettling stories. The colossal squid. The colossal squid, scientifically known as Mesonychiteuthis hamiltoni, is the largest squid species ever discovered and one of the most massive invertebrates on Earth. It inhabits the deep, cold waters of the Southern Ocean surrounding Antarctica, making it one of the most mysterious, real creatures associated with the region. Unlike the more commonly known giant squid, the colossal squid is heavier and more robust. Scientists estimate it can reach lengths of up to 10 to 14 meters and weigh over 500 kilograms. One of its most distinctive features is the presence of rotating hooks on its tentacles, which it uses to grasp and subdue prey. These hooks make it uniquely adapted for life in the deep ocean. For a long time, knowledge about the colossal squid came mainly from fragments found in the stomachs of sperm whales, its primary natural predator. This suggested that the species lived at extreme depths, far beyond the reach of regular observation. Direct encounters were extremely rare. In 2007, a major breakthrough occurred when New Zealand scientists captured a largely intact colossal squid in Antarctic waters. The specimen was recovered from the Ross Sea and later preserved for scientific study. This confirmed many assumptions about the species and provided researchers with their first detailed look at its anatomy. Despite this discovery, much about the colossal squid remains unknown. Its exact population size, behavior, lifespan, and reproductive habits are still largely a mystery. Scientists believe it spends most of its life in deep, dark waters, rising closer to the surface only rarely.
The colossal squid is not a myth or legend, but its size, habitat, and limited contact with humans contribute to its terrifying reputation. In the context of Antarctic horror, it represents a real, documented example of how extreme and alien life in the Southern Ocean can truly be.
Megapenguin. The term megapenguin does not refer to a single species, but to several extinct species of giant penguins that once lived in the southern hemisphere, including regions close to Antarctica. These penguins existed millions of years ago, long before modern humans, during periods when Earth's climate was significantly warmer than it is today. Fossil evidence shows that some of these ancient penguins were truly enormous. Species such as Palaeoeuptes, Icodiptes, and Anthropornis are estimated to have reached heights between 1.5 and 2 meters, making them as tall as an average adult human. In terms of weight, some may have exceeded 100 kilograms. This makes them far larger than today's emperor penguin, which is the biggest living penguin species. The remains of giant penguins have been discovered in Antarctica, New Zealand, Australia, and South America. Their size is believed to be an evolutionary response to environmental conditions at the time. Larger bodies helped retain heat in cold waters and allowed these penguins to dive deeper and hunt larger prey, such as big fish and squid. Scientists believe megapenguins became extinct due to a combination of climate change and competition. As the oceans cooled and marine mammals, such as seals and whales, evolved and spread, giant penguins lost their ecological advantage. These new predators and competitors were faster, more efficient, and better adapted to the changing environment. Today, megapenguins are sometimes referenced in popular culture and online discussions as mysterious or lost creatures, especially in Antarctic iceberg content. However, their existence is fully supported by paleontological evidence. While they are not monsters or cryptids, the idea that human-sized penguins once ruled the ancient Southern Ocean adds a disturbing and fascinating layer to the natural history of Antarctica. Julia. Julia is the name given to a mysterious, low-frequency underwater sound detected in the Southern Ocean near Antarctica in 1999. The signal was recorded by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, using an array of underwater hydrophones originally designed to monitor nuclear submarine activity and underwater explosions. The sound itself was extremely powerful and traveled thousands of kilometers through the ocean. What made Julia unusual was its acoustic profile. It lasted several minutes and had characteristics that did not immediately match earthquakes, ice cracking, or known biological sources. Because of this, it was cataloged and given a name, following the same convention as other unexplained ocean sounds recorded during that period. At the time of its discovery, the origin of Julia was unclear. Some researchers speculated that it could be related to large-scale ice events, such as massive iceberg collisions or the fracturing of ice shelves. However, the length and structure of the signal made it difficult to classify definitively using the data available at the time. Years later, with improved models and additional recordings, scientists concluded that Julia was most likely caused by an ice-related phenomenon. The leading explanation is that it resulted from the scraping or collision of enormous ice masses, such as icebergs grinding against the seafloor or each other. These events can generate powerful low-frequency sounds, capable of traveling vast distances through cold Antarctic waters. Although Julia now has a plausible scientific explanation, it remains unsettling due to its scale and power. The fact that natural ice movements can produce sounds detectable across entire ocean basins highlights how violent and extreme the Antarctic environment truly is. In iceberg and horror-themed discussions, Julia is often referenced as a reminder that some of the most disturbing sounds ever recorded on Earth were produced not by creatures or machines, but by the frozen continent itself. Bloop. The bloop is one of the most famous unexplained underwater sounds ever recorded, detected in 1997 by the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. It was picked up by a network of hydrophones designed to monitor underwater activity, including seismic events and marine life. The sound was extraordinarily powerful, low frequency, and could be heard across an area of roughly 5,000 kilometers in the South Pacific Ocean. What made bloop so intriguing was its audio pattern. It exhibited characteristics similar to sounds produced by living creatures, rather than geological or artificial sources. This led to initial speculation that it could be generated by an enormous, previously unknown marine animal, perhaps even a creature larger than a blue whale. The mysterious nature of the sound sparked widespread attention, including in both scientific and cryptozoology communities. Further analysis over the years, however, provided a more conventional explanation. NOAA scientists concluded that bloop was most likely caused by the fracturing of large icebergs, known as icequakes, as they broke apart and scraped against the ocean floor. These icequakes can produce extremely loud, low-frequency sounds that travel thousands of kilometers underwater, which aligns with the characteristics of bloop. Despite this explanation, bloop remains iconic because leopard seal attacks. The leopard seal, Hydrurga leptonix, is one of the top predators of the Antarctic region and is notorious for its size, strength, and aggressive behavior. Adult leopard seals can reach lengths of up to 3.5 meters, about 11 feet, and weigh as much as 600 kilograms, over 1,300 pounds. They are highly adapted to life in the icy waters of the Southern Ocean, with powerful jaws and sharp teeth, capable of hunting a variety of prey, including penguins, fish, and smaller seals. Leopard seals have occasionally attacked humans, though such incidents are extremely rare. Most interactions occur when researchers, divers, or tourists encounter them on or near the ice. The attacks are typically defensive or curious in nature, as leopard seals may approach boats or humans in the water. There are documented cases of leopard seals attempting to bite scuba divers or dragging them underwater, though fatalities are almost non-existent. These predators are also known for their stealth and speed. They can remain submerged for long periods, suddenly surfacing to ambush prey, which makes them particularly formidable hunters. Their presence in areas frequented by humans in Antarctica adds a level of danger to expeditions, even if the actual risk is low. Blood falls. Blood falls is a striking natural phenomenon located in the McMurdo Dry Valleys of Antarctica, where a bright red liquid flows from the Taylor Glacier into the nearby lake. The waterfall gets its vivid color from iron-rich salt water that oxidizes upon exposure to the air, giving it the appearance of flowing blood, which has captured the fascination of scientists and the public alike. The source of blood falls is a subglacial reservoir of hypersaline water trapped beneath the glacier. This water is rich in iron and other minerals, and it has been isolated from the surface for millions of years. As the water slowly seeps through cracks in the glacier and emerges at the surface, the iron reacts with oxygen, creating the deep red hue. Despite its dramatic appearance, blood falls is not a biological phenomenon, but a chemical one. However, it does support microbial life. Scientists have discovered bacteria in the subglacial water that can survive in extreme conditions, complete darkness, high salinity, and low temperatures. These microbes metabolize iron and sulfur compounds, offering valuable insights into how life could exist in extreme environments, such as icy moons or other planets. Blood falls serves as both a visually arresting spectacle and a reminder of the hidden and extreme processes occurring beneath the Antarctic ice. Giant phantom jellyfish. The giant phantom jellyfish, scientifically referred to as Stygiomedusa gigantea, is an exceptionally rare deep-sea jellyfish found in oceans worldwide, including the Southern Ocean around Antarctica. It is notable for its immense size, unusual shape, and the eerie way it moves, which has contributed to its nickname as a phantom of the deep. This jellyfish can reach bell diameters of up to 1 meter, about 3 feet, and possess tentacles extending as long as 6 meters, nearly 20 feet. Its body is typically translucent, with a reddish or orange hue in some specimens, giving it a ghostly appearance when illuminated by submersible lights or bioluminescence in the dark ocean depths. The bell is 4-lobed, and unlike most jellyfish, it lacks the long, trailing tentacles that many people associate with jellyfish, making its movements slow, deliberate, and otherworldly. Stygiomedusa gigantea inhabits deep waters, usually between 600 and 1,200 meters below the surface, which makes direct observation extremely difficult. Most sightings have occurred during deep-sea submersible expeditions or from captured specimens brought to the surface for study. Its diet consists primarily of small fish and other jellyfish, which it captures by enveloping them with its bell or tentacle-like appendages. Although the giant phantom jellyfish is not dangerous to humans, its size, rarity, and ethereal appearance have made it a source of fascination and fear in popular media. Level 2. Lake Vostok. Life forms. Lake Vostok is one of the largest subglacial lakes in the world, located beneath approximately 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles of ice in East Antarctica. Buried under such immense pressure and ice for millions of years, it has been isolated from the surface and atmosphere, creating an extreme environment that has intrigued scientists searching for unique life forms. Despite being cut off for an estimated 15 to 25 million years, evidence suggests that microbial life exists within the lake. Scientists have analyzed ice cores and subglacial water samples containing extremophiles, microorganisms capable of surviving in cold, dark, and high-pressure conditions. These microbes are able to metabolize nutrients from minerals and gases dissolved in the water, essentially sustaining life in complete isolation without sunlight. Some research even hints at the possibility of multicellular organisms, although no definitive evidence has been found yet. The extreme conditions in Lake Vostok, high pressure, low temperatures near freezing, lack of oxygen, and complete darkness, make it a natural laboratory for studying life in conditions similar to those on icy moons, such as Europa or Enceladus. The discovery of life in Lake Vostok would challenge existing ideas about the limits of life on Earth. It also fuels speculation and fascination in Antarctic horror and iceberg content, as it demonstrates that a hidden alien ecosystem exists beneath kilometers of ice, untouched by humans for millions of years.
Yeti crab. The Yeti crab, scientifically known as Kiwa hirsuta, is a deep-sea crustacean discovered in 2005 near hydrothermal vents in the South Pacific Ocean. While not exclusive to Antarctic waters, closely related species and other Kiwa crabs have been found in the Southern Ocean, making them relevant to Antarctic marine ecosystems. The creature earned its nickname Yeti crab due to the dense covering of white, hair-like setae on its pincers and legs, giving it a fuzzy appearance reminiscent of the mythical Yeti. Yeti crabs are relatively small, usually around 15 centimeters, 6 inches in length, but their unusual adaptations make them fascinating. The bristles on their claws host colonies of symbiotic bacteria, which the crab farms and then consumes, a rare form of chemosynthetic nutrition.
This allows them to survive in the nutrient-poor environment around hydrothermal vents, where sunlight cannot penetrate and traditional food chains are limited. The discovery of Yeti crabs challenged scientists' understanding of deep-sea ecosystems, showing how life can adapt to extreme conditions such as high pressure, scalding vent fluids, and complete darkness. They are blind and rely on sensory hairs to navigate and detect food, highlighting how evolution in isolation can produce extraordinary and almost alien organisms. Although harmless to humans, the Yeti crab is often included in Antarctic and horror-themed content because of its alien appearance and the extreme environment it inhabits. It serves as a striking example of how life can persist in isolation in places that seem inhospitable or otherworldly to humans.
Eltanin antenna. The Eltanin antenna is an unusual object discovered in 1964 by the research vessel USNS Eltanin in the South Pacific Ocean near the Drake Passage off the coast of Antarctica. During a deep-sea photographic survey at a depth of about 3,900 meters or 12,800 feet, the crew captured images of a strange rod-like structure resembling a terrestrial antenna. The discovery sparked intrigue and speculation due to its seemingly artificial appearance. Initial photographs show a central shaft with multiple protrusions, giving it the visual impression of an antenna. Some observers suggested that it could be evidence of lost technology or even extraterrestrial activity, fueling conspiracy theories and sensationalized stories in the media and cryptozoology communities. However, the object has been studied extensively by marine biologists and geologists. Scientific analysis concluded that the so-called antenna is actually a type of crinoid, a marine animal related to sea stars and sea urchins. Crinoids, sometimes called sea lilies, are sessile echinoderms with stalks and feathery arms used to filter food from the water. The Eltanin specimen was likely a detached stalk or a damaged organism that had broken off from the seabed, giving it the unusual appearance captured in the photographs. Despite this explanation, the Eltanin antenna remains famous in Antarctic and deep-sea lore due to the mystery surrounding its initial discovery and its striking resemblance to human-made structures. It serves as a reminder that the deep ocean contains forms and shapes that can easily be misinterpreted, blurring the line between natural phenomena and speculation.
Subglacial mountains. Subglacial mountains are mountain ranges or peaks that lie entirely beneath the ice sheets of Antarctica, hidden from view and often discovered only through radar, satellite imaging, and ice-penetrating surveys. These mountains can rise thousands of meters above the surrounding bedrock and are a key feature of Antarctica's largely unexplored interior landscape. Some of these ranges, like the Gamburtsev Mountains, are completely buried beneath up to 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles of ice. The Gamburtsev Mountains, roughly the size of the European Alps, were first detected in the 1950s and 1960s by seismic studies, but their detailed mapping became possible only with modern ice-penetrating radar technology. Despite being covered by ice, these mountains have jagged peaks, valleys, and ridges similar to surface mountain ranges, and they influence ice flow, glacial formation, and subglacial lakes. Subglacial mountains also provide scientists with clues about Antarctica's geological history. They likely formed hundreds of millions of years ago and have survived multiple ice ages. Studying these mountains helps researchers understand continental drift, past climates, and the behavior of ice sheets over time, which is critical for predicting future changes in global sea levels. For explorers and Antarctic horror enthusiasts, subglacial mountains contribute to the sense of mystery and isolation. Entire mountain ranges, hidden beneath kilometers of ice, may harbor unknown lakes, microbial ecosystems, and geological anomalies. Their inaccessibility
and the extreme environment surrounding them evoke both scientific fascination and eerie imagery often featured in iceberg and Antarctic horror content.
Sail Rock. Sail Rock, also known as Paris Rock, is a striking geological formation located off the coast of Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. Rising sharply from the Southern Ocean, it resembles the triangular sail of a ship, which gives it its name. The rock stands isolated and dramatic against the harsh Antarctic seascape, making it a visually arresting feature for explorers, scientists, and documentary filmmakers. Geologically, Sail Rock is composed of ancient metamorphic rock shaped over millions of years by glacial movement, wind, and ocean erosion. Its vertical face and sharp edges are the result of persistent weathering in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. The formation also provides a rare surface for studying Antarctic geology, as most of the continent's bedrock is buried under thick ice sheets. While not associated with wildlife attacks or cryptids, Sail Rock contributes to the eerie and surreal imagery often found in Antarctic horror content. Its isolation, jagged silhouette, and the way it rises from the ocean make it appear almost unnatural, especially in stormy or foggy conditions. Sail Rock also highlights the power of natural forces in shaping the Antarctic landscape, serving as a reminder of both beauty and danger in this remote region. Explorers and researchers approaching Sail Rock must contend
Icequakes. Icequakes, also known as glacial quakes, are seismic events that occur when massive ice sheets or glaciers suddenly shift, fracture, or collapse. In Antarctica, these quakes are caused by the movement of enormous ice masses, the cracking of ice shelves, or the calving of icebergs into the ocean. They produce loud, low-frequency vibrations that can be detected thousands of kilometers away by sensitive instruments. These quakes are natural and frequent in glacial regions, but some are so powerful that they can shake the surrounding ice and even generate miniature tsunamis if large icebergs break off into the sea. Icequakes are often associated with bloop and other mysterious underwater sounds, which were initially thought to be unnatural or even caused by unknown sea creatures, before scientists linked them to massive ice movements. In addition to their acoustic impact, icequakes reveal important information about the dynamics of ice sheets. Scientists study them to understand ice flow, melting patterns, and how glaciers respond to climate change. By monitoring icequakes, researchers can also gain insights into the stability of ice shelves and predict potential ice shelf collapses, which can have significant global consequences for sea levels. Conan Station. Conan Station is a German research base located deep in Queen Maud Land, Antarctica. Established in 2001 as part of Germany's contribution to international Antarctic research, the station is primarily used for glaciological, meteorological, and geophysical studies. It is situated on the Antarctic ice sheet, hundreds of kilometers from the coast, in one of the coldest and most remote parts of the continent. The station is relatively small and operates seasonally, mainly during the Antarctic summer months when temperatures are slightly more manageable and daylight is nearly continuous. Researchers at Conan Station study ice cores, subglacial conditions, and climate patterns, helping scientists understand past climate changes, ice sheet dynamics, and Antarctica's influence on global sea levels. The station is entirely reliant on supplies delivered by aircraft and overland convoys, emphasizing the isolation and extreme conditions of its location. In the context of Antarctic iceberg and horror-themed content, Conan Station represents human vulnerability in an extreme environment. Its remote location, harsh weather, and the constant presence of shifting ice creates a sense of isolation and potential danger. Stories or documentaries often emphasize how personnel at such stations face extreme cold, whiteout conditions,
and the psychological challenges of being cut off from the outside world for months at a time. Conan Station highlights both the scientific value of Antarctic exploration and the inherent risks of operating in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. It stands as a testament to human perseverance in the face of nature's vast and unforgiving power.
Soviet Sea Serpent Reports, 1967. In 1967, Soviet researchers operating in Antarctic waters reported sightings of a mysterious sea serpent-like creature. These reports came from vessels navigating the Southern Ocean near the coast of the Antarctic continent, where the icy, stormy conditions and limited visibility made encounters with unknown marine phenomena more likely. Crew members described a long, serpent-like animal, sometimes with a large, undulating body partially visible above the water's surface. At the time, these reports were taken seriously by some scientists and maritime authorities, as the Southern Ocean was, and still is, largely unexplored. The description suggested a creature much larger than any known fish or marine mammal, sparking speculation about the existence of undiscovered Antarctic megafauna. The sightings were consistent with what sailors and whalers had historically reported in polar waters, giving rise to the enduring legend of Antarctic sea serpents. Modern interpretations suggest several more plausible explanations. Many scientists believe the sea serpent sightings were likely misidentifications of known animals, such as whales, giant squid, or groups of animals swimming in a line. Large waves, floating ice, and optical illusions caused by low light and fog could have made ordinary animals appear serpentine and enormous. However, the 1967 reports remain a captivating example of Antarctic marine mysteries and continue to be cited in discussions of cryptids and unexplained phenomena in polar regions. Organism 46b. Organism 46b is a mysterious and enigmatic life form reportedly discovered beneath the Antarctic ice, though concrete scientific evidence about it is scarce. The organism is often referenced in fringe science and cryptozoology circles rather than peer-reviewed research, and it is sometimes described as a microscopic or submicroscopic entity capable of surviving extreme cold, high pressure, and complete darkness. Reports suggest that organism 46b was found in subglacial ice cores or in isolated pockets of Antarctic water, where it demonstrated unusual survival abilities. Its alleged resilience to extreme conditions has drawn comparisons to extremophiles, microbes that thrive in environments previously thought uninhabitable, such as deep-sea hydrothermal vents or highly saline lakes. This has led some to speculate that organism 46b could provide insights into the potential for life on other icy planets or moons, such as Europa or Enceladus. While mainstream science has not confirmed the existence of organism 46b as a distinct species, it remains part of Antarctic lore and is frequently cited in discussions about mysterious subglacial life forms. Its mention evokes the hidden, alien-like ecosystems beneath the Antarctic ice and emphasizes how little we truly understand about life in such extreme environments. Upside-down sea anemones. Upside-down sea anemones, scientifically known as Cassiopeia species, are unusual cnidarians that have adapted to living in extreme environments, including some cold and sub-Antarctic waters. Unlike most sea anemones, which attach themselves with their oral side up and tentacles reaching outward, upside-down anemones rest on their bell-shaped base with their tentacles facing upward. This unique orientation allows them to maximize sunlight exposure for the symbiotic algae, zooxanthellae, living in their tissues, which produce nutrients through photosynthesis. Although most species of Cassiopeia are found in warmer tropical waters, related anemone-like organisms have been observed in colder regions near Antarctica, typically clinging to the seafloor in shallow subglacial lakes or around ice-free coastal areas.
These organisms feed on plankton and organic particles, but their symbiotic relationship with algae is crucial for surviving in nutrient-poor environments where food is scarce. Upside-down anemones are fascinating because they demonstrate how life can adapt to unusual orientations and extreme conditions. Their inverted posture, combined with their ability to harbor photosynthetic symbionts, enables them to survive in habitats where light and nutrients are limited. Researchers study these organisms to understand ecological adaptations, symbiosis, and energy-efficient survival strategies in challenging environments.
Level 3. Giant Scaly Worm. The giant scaly worm is a rarely observed deep-sea organism reported in the Southern Ocean near Antarctica. It is described as a large, elongated annelid-like creature, sometimes exceeding several meters in length, with a body covered in overlapping scale-like plates that provide protection and support in the extreme deep-sea environment. Its unusual morphology makes it appear unlike typical worms and contributes to its reputation as one of Antarctica's more mysterious marine organisms. Giant scaly worms are believed to inhabit deep, cold waters along the continental slope and abyssal plains, where temperatures are near freezing and pressures are immense. They are thought to be predatory or scavenging in nature, feeding on smaller invertebrates, detritus, or carrion that drifts along the ocean floor. Very few specimens have been collected, and most knowledge comes from deep-sea exploration footage or rare bycatch samples, making direct scientific study extremely limited. The organism's adaptations, such as its armored scales and elongated body, allow it to survive in an environment with minimal light, scarce food resources, and intense cold. While its existence is still partly speculative due to the scarcity of specimens, the giant scaly worm highlights the diversity and strangeness of life in Antarctic waters, demonstrating how isolation and extreme conditions can produce highly unusual forms of life. Giant amphipods. Giant amphipods are unusually large crustaceans that inhabit the deep, cold waters of the Southern Ocean surrounding Antarctica. Belonging to the order Amphipoda, these creatures are relatives of shrimp and other small crustaceans, but can reach remarkable sizes compared to their temperate water counterparts. Some Antarctic species have been documented at lengths of up to 30 centimeters, about 12 inches, making them true giants among amphipods. These amphipods thrive in the extreme conditions of the deep Antarctic seas, where temperatures hover just above freezing and food is scarce. They are scavengers and opportunistic feeders, consuming detritus, dead fish, and other organic matter that sinks to the ocean floor. Their large size is believed to be an adaptation to the cold, a phenomenon known as polar gigantism, which is common among many deep-sea and polar invertebrates. Giant amphipods play an important ecological role as recyclers in the benthic ecosystem, breaking down organic material and supporting the nutrient cycle in Antarctic deep waters. Despite their size, they are preyed upon by larger predators such as fish, squid, and some deep-diving seabirds. Observations of these creatures often come from deep-sea submersibles, baited traps, or bycatch from scientific research expeditions, making direct encounters rare and fascinating. Their unusual size and adaptation to extreme conditions highlight the unique and resilient life forms of Antarctic waters, showing how isolation and environmental extremes can drive remarkable evolutionary changes. Cryoconite. Life forms. Cryoconite refers to a dark, dust-like sediment that accumulates on the surface of glaciers and ice sheets, including those in Antarctica. This sediment consists of mineral particles, soot, and organic matter, and it often forms small depressions called cryoconite holes when it absorbs sunlight and melts into the ice. Despite being frozen in an extreme environment, cryoconite holes host surprisingly rich microecosystems, making them hotspots of microbial life on the ice. Cryoconite life forms include bacteria, cyanobacteria, algae, fungi, and microscopic invertebrates such as tardigrades and rotifers. These organisms survive by feeding on organic matter trapped in the sediment, performing photosynthesis in the case of cyanobacteria and algae, or existing as extremophiles capable of tolerating freezing temperatures, high UV radiation, and nutrient-poor conditions. The presence of cryoconite life forms shows that even the coldest, seemingly barren surfaces of Antarctica can support complex and active microbial communities. Scientists study cryoconite ecosystems to understand microbial survival strategies, nutrient cycling on ice sheets, and the potential for life in similar icy environments elsewhere in the solar system. The extreme conditions of Antarctic glaciers make cryoconite a natural laboratory for examining how life adapts to cold, desiccation, and high radiation.
Unknown signals from the South Pole. Over the years, scientists operating in Antarctica have occasionally recorded mysterious and unexplained signals originating from the South Pole. These signals have been detected using various instruments, including seismographs, radio receivers, and underwater hydrophones, and they often defy immediate explanation. Some are low-frequency sounds or pulses, while others are irregular patterns that do not match known natural or man-made sources. One famous example is the detection of unusual low-frequency sounds in the Southern Ocean near Antarctica, sometimes referred to in research circles as the polar hum. These sounds can travel long distances through water and ice, and their origin has been the subject of speculation. Hypotheses range from natural phenomena, such as ice quakes, subglacial volcanic activity, or shifting ice sheets, to more exotic explanations involving unknown marine organisms or previously undiscovered geophysical processes. Researchers continue to study these signals to better understand the dynamics of the Antarctic environment. Signals of unknown origin are important because they may reveal hidden features of the ice sheet, unknown seismic activity, or unique interactions between ice, ocean, and atmosphere. Advanced monitoring and satellite technologies are being employed to map these sources and determine whether they are natural or artificial. While the precise origin of many of these signals remains a mystery, they underscore the complexity and uniqueness of the Antarctic region. Scientists treat them as valuable data points that could improve our understanding of the continent's geophysical and oceanographic systems, as well as the extreme conditions that govern life and movement in this frozen environment.
Colossal sea spiders. Colossendeus. Colossal sea spiders, belonging to the genus Colossendeus, are some of the largest representatives of the Pycnogonida class, marine arthropods, commonly known as sea spiders. These deep-sea creatures inhabit the frigid waters surrounding Antarctica, often at depths of several hundred to several thousand meters. Adult specimens can reach leg spans of over 40 centimeters, 16 inches, making them among the largest of all sea spider species. Despite their frightening appearance, colossal sea spiders are generally harmless to humans. They have long, thin legs, a small central body, and a proboscis used to suck nutrients from soft-bodied invertebrates, such as sponges, cnidarians, and bryozoans. Their unusually elongated legs help them navigate the uneven terrain of the seafloor and distribute their body weight over soft sediment, preventing them from sinking into the mud. These sea spiders are specially adapted to survive in the extreme Antarctic environment. Cold temperatures slow their metabolism, allowing them to survive on sparse food resources. Their exoskeletons are thin, which is compensated by the low-density, low-pressure conditions of the deep sea.
Reproduction is also unusual. Males carry eggs on specialized appendages called ovagers until they hatch, providing protection in an environment where predation and harsh conditions make survival challenging. Colossendeus species are important members of the Antarctic benthic ecosystem. They contribute to the ecological balance by feeding on invertebrates and participating in the nutrient cycle of the seafloor. Their presence demonstrates how life has evolved unique adaptations to survive in one of the coldest and most remote marine environments on Earth.
Southern elephant seal. The southern elephant seal, Mironga leonina, is the largest species of seal in the world and one of the most iconic marine mammals of the Antarctic region. Adult males, called bulls, can reach lengths of up to 6 meters, 20 feet, and weigh as much as 4,000 kilograms, 8,800 pounds, while females are significantly smaller, typically growing up to 3 meters, 10 feet in length, and weighing around 900 kilograms, 2,000 pounds. Their name comes from the male's large, trunk-like nose, which becomes more pronounced with age and is used in vocalizations and displays during mating season. Southern elephant seals are deep-diving marine predators capable of reaching depths over 1,500 meters, 4,900 feet, and holding their breath for more than an hour. They primarily feed on fish, squid, and other marine organisms found in the Southern Ocean. Their blubber provides insulation against the extreme cold, allowing them to spend long periods in icy waters. Breeding occurs on sub-Antarctic islands and ice-free coastal areas of Antarctica. Males establish dominance hierarchies, fighting for control of harems of females. These battles can be intense, involving loud roars, biting, and slamming against each other, and often leave visible scars. Pups are born after an 11-month gestation and are nursed for about a month, gaining significant weight from the rich, fatty milk of their mothers. Southern elephant seals play an important ecological role as apex predators and are also indicators of the health of Antarctic marine ecosystems. Their remarkable size, deep diving abilities, and extreme adaptations make them one of the most extraordinary species thriving in the harsh polar environment.
Headless chicken monster. The so-called headless chicken monster is a mysterious and little documented creature reported in Antarctic waters. Accounts describe it as a bizarre marine organism resembling a giant bird or chicken without a head, often with an elongated neck or body that appears disconnected from its head region, giving it an eerie, unnatural appearance. Sightings are extremely rare and mostly anecdotal, reported by research expeditions or seafarers navigating the Southern Ocean. The creature is thought to inhabit deep or partially ice-covered waters, where low temperatures and scarce light make observation difficult. Some speculate it could be a deformed known species, such as a deep-sea fish, squid, or other invertebrate, seen under unusual lighting or distorted by water currents. Its grotesque appearance and unusual movement patterns have contributed to its nickname and the intrigue surrounding it. Because no confirmed specimens exist, the headless chicken monster remains largely a cryptid. Nevertheless, it exemplifies the extreme and often alien-like forms of life that can be found in Antarctic ecosystems, and the challenges scientists face when attempting to explore and catalog life in such harsh and inaccessible environments.
Antarctic Godzilla. The Antarctic Godzilla is a name given to alleged sightings of an enormous, dinosaur-like or reptilian sea creature reported in the waters around Antarctica. Descriptions often depict it as a massive, reptile-like animal with a long tail, powerful limbs, and a spiny back, resembling the fictional Godzilla from movies. Reports are extremely rare and mostly anecdotal, coming from sailors, researchers, or explorers navigating remote parts of the Southern Ocean.
Eyewitness accounts claim the creature can reach enormous sizes, far larger than any known marine reptile or mammal in the Antarctic region. It is usually reported near open water areas or along the edges of ice shelves, where icebergs and rough seas can create optical illusions that make ordinary animals appear much larger or more menacing. Some researchers suggest that sightings may be misidentifications of giant whales, colossal squids, or unusual floating ice formations, while others consider the possibility of an undiscovered species adapted to extreme polar conditions. No physical evidence or specimens have ever been collected, leaving the Antarctic Godzilla in the realm of legend and cryptozoology. Despite this, the stories contribute to the mystique and sense of unexplored danger in Antarctic waters, highlighting the challenges of observing and documenting life in one of the most remote and harsh environments on Earth.
La Cosa, Spanish for the thing. La Cosa, Spanish for the thing, is an alleged mysterious organism reported in Antarctic regions, often described as a strange, amorphous, and highly adaptable life form. Eyewitnesses and anecdotal reports describe it as having the ability to alter its shape or appearance, sometimes resembling other organisms, or appearing as a gelatinous, almost alien-like mass. These reports are extremely rare and largely speculative, appearing primarily in fringe science discussions rather than mainstream scientific literature. According to these accounts, La Cosa is found in subglacial or coastal waters of Antarctica, environments that are dark, cold, and nutrient-poor. Its reported resilience and adaptability suggest it could survive extreme cold, high pressure, and low oxygen conditions. Some theorists link La Cosa to extremophilic organisms, capable of living in conditions that would normally be inhospitable to most life forms, and speculate that it may possess a form of primitive intelligence or rapid adaptive capabilities. No verified specimens of La Cosa have ever been collected, leaving it firmly in the realm of cryptids and Antarctic legends. Despite the lack of scientific confirmation, the concept highlights the potential for unknown and unusual life forms in Antarctica's largely unexplored ecosystems. It also underscores how extreme environments can harbor organisms that challenge conventional understanding of biology and survival. Strawberry with 20 arms.
The so-called strawberry with 20 arms is a nickname given to an unusual species of starfish, or echinoderm, observed in Antarctic waters. Reports describe it as a bright-colored reddish organism, roughly resembling a strawberry in shape and texture, with an unusually high number of arms, sometimes noted as 20, extending from a central body. This extreme number of arms is highly atypical compared to most starfish species, which usually have 5 or fewer, making it a striking example of Antarctic marine adaptation. These multi-armed starfish inhabit the cold, nutrient-rich waters of the Southern Ocean and are typically found on the seabed, feeding on benthic invertebrates, detritus, or organic matter. The increased number of arms may provide advantages, such as enhanced mobility across uneven seafloor terrain, improved ability to capture prey, and better stability in the strong Antarctic currents. Despite its unusual appearance, the strawberry with 20 arms is not considered dangerous to humans. It remains largely a subject of scientific curiosity, with sightings documented during deep-sea expeditions and photographic surveys. Its vibrant color, unusual morphology, and extreme adaptation highlight the diversity of life that has evolved in the harsh Antarctic environment, and the unique ways in which marine species survive in such extreme conditions.
Level 4. Long-finned whale. The long-finned whale, Baleinoptera physalis, also referred to as the fin whale, is one of the largest marine mammals in the Southern Ocean and a common inhabitant of Antarctic waters. Adult fin whales can grow up to 27 meters, 189 feet in length and weigh as much as 80,000 kilograms, 176,000 pounds, making them the second largest species of whale after the blue whale. They are easily recognizable by their streamlined bodies, prominent dorsal fin, and asymmetrical coloring on their lower jaw, with the right side typically lighter than the left. These whales are fast swimmers and highly migratory, feeding primarily on krill, small fish, and other planktonic organisms. During the Antarctic summer, they congregate in nutrient-rich waters near the ice edge, taking advantage of the seasonal abundance of krill. Long-finned whales are baleen whales, meaning they filter their food through comb-like plates in their mouths, allowing them to consume large quantities of tiny prey efficiently. Long-finned whales play a vital ecological role as apex filter feeders in Antarctic ecosystems. Their massive size and migratory patterns help distribute nutrients across large ocean areas. They were heavily hunted in the 20th century, leading to dramatic population declines. But international protections and whaling bans have allowed some populations to recover. Despite this, their remote habitat and vast range make scientific observation challenging, and much about their behavior in Antarctic waters remains under study.
Unknown graves near research stations. In some regions of Antarctica, particularly around older research stations and abandoned outposts, reports of unmarked or poorly documented graves have emerged. These graves are sometimes referred to as unknown graves because the identities of those buried are unclear or the records have been lost over time. While Antarctica has no indigenous population, numerous explorers, scientists, and support personnel have worked and lived on the continent since the early 20th century, and accidents, illness, and extreme weather have occasionally resulted in deaths. Many of these graves are marked by simple wooden crosses, plaques, or cairns, while others remain unmarked or partially obscured by ice and snow. The harsh Antarctic climate slows decomposition and preserves remains, making these sites both historically significant and occasionally mysterious. Some graves have been found near research stations, such as the early British, Norwegian, and American bases, where small burial sites were established out of necessity due to isolation and lack of immediate repatriation options. Researchers and historians document these graves to preserve the history of human activity in Antarctica. They provide insight into the risks and hardships faced by early explorers and scientific personnel in one of the harshest environments on Earth. While some of the graves are identified through station logs or archives, others remain enigmatic, with the identities of those buried lost to history, contributing to the sense of isolation and mystery surrounding human presence on the continent. DC-10 crash. One of the most tragic and mysterious incidents in Antarctic aviation history involves a DC-10 aircraft crash. Due to Antarctica's extreme weather conditions, limited navigation aids, and vast, ice-covered terrain, flying in the region is particularly hazardous. Reports of DC-10 crashes often highlight how sudden storms, whiteouts, or strong katabatic winds can overwhelm even experienced pilots, causing aircraft to lose orientation or control over the icy landscape. The exact details of specific DC-10 crashes in Antarctica are often sparse, with limited public records due to military or research confidentiality. In general, crashes in the region emphasize the dangers of transporting personnel, equipment, and supplies between research stations or from international airports to Antarctic bases. Survivors, if any, face extreme challenges, including sub-zero temperatures, isolation, and the difficulty of coordinating rescue operations in one of the world's most remote environments. Investigations of Antarctic aircraft accidents have contributed to the development of improved flight protocols, emergency preparedness, and specialized cold weather aviation technology. These include enhanced navigation systems, aircraft de-icing techniques, and stricter weather monitoring before takeoff.
Although rare, DC-10 and other large aircraft incidents serve as reminders of the unforgiving nature of Antarctic conditions and the careful planning required for safe operations in such extreme environments.
Rodney Marks case. The Rodney Marks case is one of the most mysterious deaths in Antarctica history. Rodney Marks was an Australian astrophysicist working at the South Pole's Amundsen Scott Station. On May 12, 2000, he suddenly fell ill and died while at the station, and his death remains unexplained, sparking widespread speculation. An autopsy conducted later revealed that Marks had died from methanol poisoning, a substance commonly found in industrial chemicals and some alcohols, but it was unclear how he ingested a lethal amount. His death is particularly puzzling because Antarctica is one of the most controlled environments on Earth. Research stations maintain strict rules regarding chemicals, alcohol, and safety, and the station was staffed with experienced scientists and personnel. Investigations could not determine whether his death was accidental, deliberate, or due to foul play. The extreme isolation of the South Pole, along with the limited number of people present at the time, has made it difficult to solve the case conclusively. The Rodney Marks case continues to intrigue both scientists and true crime enthusiasts. It highlights the dangers of working in such an extreme and isolated environment where medical emergencies can become fatal due to delayed treatment, harsh weather, and logistical challenges. The mystery surrounding his death also underscores how even well-monitored modern research stations in Antarctica can be the site of unexplained and tragic events. Ice mummies of Antarctica. The ice mummies of Antarctica refer to remarkably well-preserved human and animal remains discovered in the icy and arid regions of the continent. The extreme cold, low humidity, and minimal microbial activity in Antarctica can naturally mummify bodies, preserving skin, hair, and even internal organs for decades or longer. While most finds are from historical expeditions, some unusual discoveries of frozen remains have fueled speculation about lost explorers, early human visitors, or even unidentified species. Human mummies in Antarctica are rare, but have been found near old research stations or along expedition routes, often belonging to early 20th century explorers who succumbed to cold, starvation, or illness. Similarly, animal remains, including penguins and sled dogs, are sometimes preserved in ice patches, providing scientists with unique opportunities to study the biology and history of Antarctic life. These mummified remains can reveal insights into diet, health, clothing, and survival strategies used by explorers, or the adaptations of wildlife to extreme conditions. The ice mummies also contribute to the eerie and mysterious reputation of Antarctica. Frozen and isolated in the vast icy landscapes, they serve as a reminder of the harsh and unforgiving environment of the continent, where survival is precarious and the dead can remain undisturbed for decades. Scientific studies continue to examine these mummies for clues about the continent's history, climate conditions, and even potential lessons for extreme environment survival. Emergency station evacuations. Emergency station evacuations in Antarctica are rare but critical events due to the continent's extreme and unforgiving environment. Research stations, though carefully designed to withstand harsh weather, are vulnerable to sudden natural disasters, structural failures, fires, fuel spills, medical emergencies, or extreme storms. Because Antarctica is one of the most remote regions on Earth, evacuation procedures are highly complex and often rely on coordination between multiple national programs. Evacuations typically involve helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft, or icebreaker ships, depending on location, weather conditions, and the urgency of the situation.
Teams are trained for rapid response, with emergency shelters, survival kits, and communication systems prepared in advance. Winter evacuations are especially challenging due to near-total darkness, extreme cold, and severe winds, which can delay flights or make travel impossible for days or weeks for days. In some cases, personnel must endure prolonged periods in isolated, temporary shelters until safe transport is possible. These emergency operations underscore the dangers faced by scientists and support staff in Antarctica. Despite careful planning and modern technology, the environment can turn routine work into life-threatening situations. Each evacuation serves as a reminder of the extreme conditions on the continent, the need for meticulous safety protocols, and the resilience and training required to survive in one of the harshest regions on Earth.
Level 5. Pre-ice civilization hypothesis. The pre-ice civilization hypothesis is a speculative idea suggesting that Antarctica may have once been home to a human civilization before the continent was covered by ice. Proponents point to geological and climatological evidence indicating that Antarctica was once warmer and more temperate, with forests, rivers, and a diverse ecosystem that could have supported life. Some fringe theories also cite mysterious structures, unusual geological formations, or anomalies in satellite imagery as potential evidence of ancient human or advanced life activity. Mainstream science acknowledges that Antarctica was indeed ice-free millions of years ago, with a climate capable of supporting flora and fauna, but there is no verified evidence of human habitation before the modern era. The hypothesis remains controversial and is generally considered pseudoscientific because archaeological evidence, tools, settlements, or human remains has not been found. Still, it captures the imagination of enthusiasts who wonder whether human history on Earth might include lost civilizations hidden beneath the ice. Despite the lack of concrete proof, the idea underscores the mystery and allure of Antarctica. The continent's thick ice sheet preserves clues to Earth's past climate, geological history, and even potentially unknown life forms, making it a focus of fascination for both scientists and speculative researchers. Antarctic Treaty Secrets. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959 and entered into force in 1961, is an international agreement that regulates the use of Antarctica, emphasizing peaceful scientific research and prohibiting military activity, nuclear tests, and mineral exploitation. While the treaty is publicly available, some theorists and conspiracy enthusiasts speculate that certain aspects of human activity in Antarctica remain hidden from the public. Claims range from secret military installations to undisclosed scientific experiments or covert geopolitical operations conducted by treaty signatory nations. Antarctica is unique because it is largely uninhabited and extremely difficult to access, with research stations scattered across the continent. This isolation, combined with strict environmental regulations and controlled access, fuels speculation about hidden activities. Some suggest that advanced technologies, unusual experiments, or even classified discoveries could be occurring in remote stations without widespread knowledge. While there is no verified evidence of such clandestine operations, the combination of secrecy, international jurisdiction, and extreme conditions contributes to enduring intrigue. In reality, the Antarctic Treaty System encourages transparency, with most research findings publicly shared and inspections by member nations allowed to ensure compliance. Nevertheless, the idea of Antarctic Treaty secrets remains a popular topic in documentaries and speculative discussions, highlighting humanity's fascination with hidden knowledge in one of the most remote and inhospitable regions on Earth.
Classified biological samples. Classified biological samples in Antarctica refer to reports and speculations that certain research stations store biological materials under restricted or confidential conditions. These could include microbial cultures, extremophiles, viruses, or other organisms adapted to the continent's harsh and unique environment. Some theorists suggest that these samples might be part of high-security scientific studies or experiments not fully disclosed to the public due to national security, proprietary research, or environmental concerns. Antarctica's extreme conditions make it a natural laboratory for studying organisms that survive extreme cold, low light, and high pressure. Microbes found in subglacial lakes, permafrost, or deep-sea environments have unique biochemical properties that could have applications in medicine, biotechnology, or climate research. While most research is openly published, some sensitive studies, particularly those involving potentially hazardous pathogens or novel genetic materials, may be kept classified to prevent misuse or accidental release. Despite the secrecy surrounding certain biological research, there is no verified evidence of sinister or unusual activity. However, the combination of extreme isolation, limited access, and the potential for groundbreaking discoveries fuels speculation about the existence of hidden biological samples. This highlights both the scientific importance of Antarctic research and the public fascination with the unknown and potentially secretive aspects of the continent.
Something is moving under the ice. Reports. Reports of something moving under the ice in Antarctica refer to a series of eyewitness accounts and sonar readings suggesting the presence of large, unidentified objects or creatures beneath the continent's thick ice sheets. These reports come from researchers, scientists, and occasionally military personnel operating in remote regions, and they often describe unusual patterns on sonar, radar anomalies, or fleeting glimpses of movement in subglacial lakes and channels. Some describe the movements as large, slow, and deliberate, leading to speculation about unknown aquatic creatures, massive ice-dwelling organisms, or even undiscovered species adapted to extreme cold and darkness. While some scientists believe these reports can often be explained by natural phenomena, such as shifting ice, subglacial water currents, trapped gases, or seismic activity, the sheer remoteness and extreme environment of Antarctica make it difficult to study these occurrences conclusively. Subglacial lakes like Lake Vostok, which has remained isolated for millions of years under kilometers of ice, could theoretically harbor life forms that remain completely unknown to science. These reports feed into the fascination and mystery surrounding Antarctica, highlighting how little is truly known about the life and dynamics beneath its ice sheets. Whether caused by known environmental processes or something extraordinary, the idea that something might be moving silently under the Antarctic ice captivates both scientists and enthusiasts, illustrating the continent's ongoing potential for discoveries in one of the harshest and most inaccessible environments on Earth.
Operation High Jump Anomalies. Operation High Jump was a large-scale U.S. Navy expedition to Antarctica in 1946-47, officially aimed at training personnel, testing equipment in extreme cold, and establishing research bases. However, over the years, numerous anomalies and unexplained events reported during the operation have fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. Some accounts describe unusual aerial sightings, strange radar readings, and reports of unknown structures or movements along the Antarctic coastline. These anomalies have been interpreted by fringe theorists as evidence of secret bases, unidentified flying objects, or encounters with previously unknown Antarctic phenomena. While mainstream historians attribute these anomalies to the harsh and unfamiliar Antarctic environment, human error, and misinterpretation of ice formations,
clouds or radar artifacts. The combination of secrecy surrounding military operations and limited documentation has kept these stories alive. Some surviving photographs from Operation Highjump show odd shadows, shapes, or patterns on ice, which conspiracy enthusiasts claim are evidence of hidden installations or advanced technology. Despite the speculation, no verified evidence has emerged to confirm extraordinary discoveries during the operation. Nevertheless, Operation Highjump anomalies remain a prominent topic in discussions of mysterious Antarctic phenomena, illustrating how historical expeditions into extreme environments can inspire both scientific inquiry and imaginative theories about hidden secrets in the frozen continent.
Non-human structures beneath the ice. Reports and speculation about non-human structures beneath Antarctica's ice have captured the imagination of explorers, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike. Some claims suggest that unusual geometric formations, straight lines, and patterns detected via satellite imagery, radar scans, or ground-penetrating sonar could be artificial in origin, but not created by humans. These alleged structures are sometimes described as large complexes, towers, or pyramidal shapes buried under kilometers of ice, leading to theories about lost civilizations, ancient aliens, or unknown advanced life forms that may have existed before the ice covered the continent. Scientists largely caution that most of these patterns can be explained by natural geological processes. Ice flows, subglacial rivers, crevasses, and volcanic activity can create symmetrical or angular shapes that appear artificial from above. However, the extreme isolation of Antarctica, combined with the difficulty of physically exploring subglacial regions, leaves room for speculation and continued intrigue. Subglacial lakes, such as Lake Vostok and Lake Ellsworth, remain mostly unexplored and could contain unusual geological formations, microbial life, or other unknown phenomena. While there is no verified evidence of non-human structures beneath the ice, the idea highlights the extreme mystery of Antarctica's hidden environment. It serves as a reminder that beneath the thick ice sheets lies a world largely unseen and poorly understood, with potential for scientific discoveries that could challenge our understanding of Earth's history and its ability to preserve secrets over millions of years. Antarctica is not what we are told. The phrase "Antarctica is not what we're told" has become popular among conspiracy theorists and speculative researchers, suggesting that the commonly accepted understanding of the continent hides unknown realities, proponents claim. What is publicly presented about Antarctica, its scientific research, uninhabited nature, and governance under the Antarctic Treaty, may obscure secret activities, unusual phenomena, or hidden structures beneath the ice. They point to restricted access, extreme isolation, and military involvement during historical expeditions as reasons to question the official narrative. Some of the ideas associated with this phrase include the existence of hidden bases, secret biological or technological research, anomalous life forms, or evidence of pre-ice civilizations. Satellite images, radar scans, and unexplained reports of movement under the ice are often cited as proof that the continent holds more mysteries than acknowledged. While these claims capture public fascination, mainstream science emphasizes that most unusual observations can be explained by natural processes, such as shifting ice, subglacial lakes, volcanic activity, and extreme weather conditions. Despite the lack of verified evidence for hidden agendas, the notion that Antarctica is not what we're told underscores the continent's enduring allure. It represents humanity's curiosity about the unknown and highlights how one of the most remote and extreme places on Earth continues to inspire both legitimate scientific exploration and imaginative speculation. Antarctica remains one of the most mysterious and extreme places on Earth. Beneath its vast ice sheets lie secrets, strange phenomena, and questions that may never be fully answered. Whether through science, exploration, or imagination, the frozen continent continues to captivate and challenge us, reminding us of how little we truly know about our planet.